Hello, very good morning, all of you. Once again, very good morning. Uh, we had discussed in the previous lecture that is video number is 9. In that video, we had discussed about piezoelectricity. What is piezoelectricity, and what are the materials such as a natural piezoelectric material and man-made material. These two types of materials are involved in the piezoelectric material piezoelectricity. Okay, that is natural piezoelectric material and the man-made material. And next one is what is the ultrasonic probes. We had studied about the types of the ultrasonic probes and transducers. Actually, probes is just behave like transducer. And the types of ultrasonic probes or transducer are many types of ultrasonic probes or transducers, such as a single compressor transducer, twin compressor, angle beam transducer, delay aligned transducer, immersion transducer, wheel transducer, custom transducer, and electromagnetic acoustic transducer. The most important is the electromagnetic acoustic transducer. It is generate the sound energy directly within the material placed in contact with this transducer. When a wire carrying current or electromagnet on the are used with an ultrasonic frequency wave on eddy current is induced in the material, this eddy current will be the experience of the Lorentz field. So these are the topic we had discussed in the previous lecture. The video number is 9. Now we move forward, and we are going to study about what is the difference between piezoelectric and the transducer. This is a very important topic which is mostly asked in the semester examination. What is the difference between the piezoelectric and transducer and EMAT? So we have learned about these points. 6 number of points is. The first one is the coplants are required, and the EMAT environment coplant is not required, right? And the second point, it is a constant it is a contact method, and but in EMAT it is not contact method. And third point is it is a wet inspection, and the third is a dry inspection. What does it mean? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि हम पीजोइलेक्ट्रिक ट्रांसड्यूसर मस्ट बी यूज्ड इन द वेट इंस्पेक्शन. किसी भी मॉइस्चराइजर जगह भी हम जो है पीजोइलेक्ट्रिक ट्रांसड्यूसर का यूज कर सकते हैं. बट इन केस ऑफ EMAT we not use the EMAT in case of wet or moisture content, but it is used for dry inspection. जहाँ पे मॉइस्चर कंटेंट नहीं होंगे वहाँ पे हम जो है EMAT टेक्निक्स का यूज़ करके जो है इंस्पेक्शन कर सकते हैं. किसी मटेरियल किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट का जो है इंस्पेक्शन कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. तो थर्ड पॉइंट इज इट इज़ नॉट अ वेट इंस्पेक्शन, इट इज़ पीजोइलेक्ट्रिक ट्रांसड्यूसर, एंड इट इज़ ड्राई इंस्पेक्शन, इट इज़ EMAT. फोर्थ इज मोर सेंसिटिव टू सरफेस कंडीशन ड्यू टू यूज ऑफ कॉम्प्लेंट. क्योंकि कॉम्प्लेंट्स क्या होता है, वो कॉन्टैक्ट में आता है और इसकी वजह से ये बहुत ज़्यादा सेंसिटिव होता है. वेन एवर अकॉर्डिंग टू द सरफेस कंडीशन, अगर सरफेस कंडीशन इज ड्राई it is not used, but when the surface is containing some moisture, then you prefer for used to testing the defects of the material. What are the defects involved in the material? If the material in wet region, then we have to use piezoelectric transducer, but it is more sensitive according to the surface condition. But in case of EMAT, sensitivity of the surface condition is less. It is also sensitive, but as comparison of piezoelectric transducer, it is less, right? The next point is complicated to produce horizontal shear wave, and it is easy to produce horizontal shear waves. Means क्या है कि piezoelectric transducer is having problems, facing problem to produce the horizontal shear wave, but in case of EMAT it is easily produce the shear waves when the transducer are horizontally. So नहीं, piezoelectric transducer is also produce shear wave, but it is complicated to produce. But in case of CMAT, it is very easy to produce the horizontal shear waves. The next is applicable to all types of the materials and non-materials. But in case of EMAT, it is limited to ferrous or magnetic materials only. Means piezoelectric transducer is useful for material and non-material, means material, metal or non-metals. But in case of EMAT, it is only used to prefer or used for the ferrous or magnetic material. It is not used for the non-material. These are the 6 points which is very important points when these are the differentiate the piezoelectric transducer and EMAT. So my dear student, I have already sent the notes of this topic. I thought if you have notes, then follow this video also and put the notes in front of you and then follow the video. Then you have more understand about the difference between the piezoelectric and transducer and EMAT. The next topic is the propagation of waves. Everybody knows about the propagation of the waves. You all study in the physics. The propagation of waves are done by any of 4 modes, that is longitudinal, shear, surface and plates waves. These are the modes of propagation of wave, such as longitudinals, shear, surface and plate waves. Longitudinal and shear waves are widely used in the ultrasonic testing. Okay, here the propagation of wave was how many types? There are 4 types for longitudinal waves, shear wave, surface and plate wave. But mostly longitudinal waves and shear waves are widely used in the ultrasonic testing, right? Then the longitudinal waves, the particles are oscillated in longitudinal direction. ऑसिलेटर मतलब क्या होता है? वाइब्रेशन होता है ना, साइन वेव बना के आता हुआ है. तो ऑसिलेटेड इन द लॉन्गिट्यूडनल डायरेक्शन और इन डायरेक्शन ऑफ वेव प्रोपेगेशन. These are also called as a pressure or compression waves. Their waves can be generated in a liquid as well as in solid. Think about it and then note it down. The longitudinal wave is generated in the liquid as well as in solid. So here the direction and the waves. Here the diagram. Here you saw the waves, compression, the wavelength, the direction of the movement of the wave, and then the refraction. So I hope you are getting my points. What I want to say. The next is the transverse or the shear wave. Actually, my dear friends, shear wave is also known as transverse wave. So transverse wave, the particles are oscillated at right angle. Keep in mind right angle to the direction of the wave propagation. जिस डायरेक्शन में प्रोपेगेशन हो रहा होगा वेव का, उसके राइट एंगल 90 डिग्री जो बोलते हैं. These waves are relatively weaker than longitudinal waves, but basically the wave of shear wave is weak as comparison of longitudinal waves. So here this is the propagation of shear waves. See in the figure, right? See in the figure. Okay, my dear student. The next one is the surface waves. ऐसे relay waves भी बोलते हैं, are very sensitive to surface defect. Basically, the surface waves is used for the find out the defect in the surface and are able to inspect the areas that are difficult to reach. Okay, difficult to reach, जहाँ पे हमारा पहुँचना कठिन होता है, जिस एरिया में, जिस पार्ट्स का, जहाँ पे ऐसे कोई पार्ट्स होते हैं, ऐसे मटेरियल्स, ऐसी जगह होते हैं जहाँ पे हम पहुँच नहीं सकते, वहाँ पे हम बेसिकली सरफेस डिफेक्ट का यूज़ करते हैं, सरफेस वेव का यूज़ करते हैं. सरफेस वेव ट्रेवल्स द सरफेस ऑफ ए रिलेटिवली थिक सॉलिड डस्ट स्पेसिमेन एंड पेनिट्रेट्स द स्पेसिमेन up to the depth of the one wavelength. Okay, and the last is the plate waves. What is plate waves are also called on lamp waves, and one complex vibrational wave that propagates parallel to the test specimen and surface, and its propagation depends on the density and elasticity properties of the specimen. Here these are the figure which is related to the plate waves. Actually the propagation completely depends on density and elastic property of the test specimen. So here these are the specimen and this is the surface wave, and here this is a surface wave in the above topic, and here is the plate waves. So my dear student, you have the note and see the notes and note down and draw the diagram for a better understand. So my dear student, here the unit number 4 of non-destructive testing is finished. We have moved forward towards the unit number 5th, in my next video. So my dear student, if you have any doubts, then message me or WhatsApp me or mail me or comment below the video. Okay, thanks for the watching. Have a nice day.